What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to today's pickups video. As you see, we have an original Xbox console. I believe this one is from 2003. And then we have the non-Duke controllers. These are the smaller controllers that they wound up putting out, but we have a black and a clear blue one. Now this is something that Xbox started doing again, is putting out the clear colored controllers, which I miss. And I also think that all game consoles should start doing this again. I mean, we haven't really seen it since the older consoles. But let's go ahead and take a deeper dive into some of the games that we got here. Now, most of you watching this and follow this channel have seen the short that I posted, and you got to see a little bit of the games that I got for this, but we're going to go into it a little bit deeper and give you guys a better look at everything we got here. Now, right away, right off the bat, we have Stubbs the Zombie and Turtles Mutant Nightmare 3, which are two pretty heavy hitters for this console. Just recently, they released Stubbs the Zombie for the PlayStation 4. So if you did not get a chance to buy it or play it on the original Xbox, then the PS4 is going to be your better option. It's a lot cheaper. I know back when I was first looking at that game to buy, it was going for around $100 on eBay. So I'm kind of happy they did release it for the PS4, upgraded graphics, all that jazz. It makes it a little bit, better to play when you're used to games that are, of today's age. But still a classic game, still looks good, great soundtrack, can't beat it. Now, over here we've got some really good games. I kind of separated these stacks as in from games that I like and games that I loved. So let's go through the games that I liked first. Right off the top, as you see, we have the Mark Echo. Now this was a graffiti game, and I'm big into graffiti, always have been. I was into it way before it became like a fad and started seeing it everywhere, on clothing. But this Mark Echo game is really cool. Similar, it's similar to Jet Set Radio, I guess, in that kind of, graffiti vibe. But it's a really good game. Check it out. This one does go for quite a bit still, but you can get it for the PlayStation 2 as well. Next, of course, we have our Spider-Man games. We've got Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2. Both really good games, complete in box. Most of these games are complete in box. I think there's only 4 that do not have the manuals. But Spider-Man 1 and 2, classics. I mean, just like anything else, anytime you go to an older console, the graphics are going to be a little bit different. But I mean, it wasn't too bad. I mean, you take a look at like what the graphics kind of look like. I mean, it wasn't too shabby. It's not, nothing to really compare to today's standards, but you know what I mean. It's still good. And then Conquer, we have Live and Reloaded. A bit different than the Conquer game for the N64, but another really sought after game. I personally don't remember playing this game, so I'm kind of excited to hook this up and see what it's all about. Next we have this really cool Metal Case Doom 3. This one, when I looked it up, it can go for some pretty good money, and this is complete in box. It's not in the greatest condition, but trust me, I've seen a lot worse. But it still has its plastic sleeve, complete in box with manual. Always a good sign. Then the OGs of the OGs, especially for, when talking about the original Xbox console, this was the first-person shooter that I had to learn, the dual stick controls in order to play, because everybody was playing this game at the time. And when these came out, I was not used to how the controls were. I was not used to having to use one joystick for my head controls and another joystick for my body. It was a very weird thing for me to get used to. I didn't play many games that were like that before the original Xbox. I mean, back when you go to PlayStation 2, you had the Medal of Honor games, but they weren't quite like that yet, I don't think. It was more so the set camera that would just kind of turn with you when it was supposed to turn. Now when you go back and play those games, you're glad that you got used to playing games like this, because it's just annoying trying to get the camera to point in the direction you want it to go. But here we've got Tony Hawk American Wasteland. This is a very minty game. Very good condition. The case, very nice. No blemishes, really. I mean, you can't go wrong with Tony Hawk, especially these ones. The Underground and American Wasteland, both really good games. Not too long ago, I went through a whole month where I played and beat every single Tony Hawk game. You know, for console, I didn't play any of the Game Boy ones or anything like that, but Tony Hawk, man, you can't beat Tony Hawk. You know, anytime you find a Tony Hawk game, it's worth picking up. The soundtracks are always great. This one, though, Bloodwake. I don't remember this game, but it is pretty highly praised. A lot of people, refer this game. They tell you, if you find it, pick it up. It's worth it. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to play it and see how it goes. Don't know much about it, but it looks like, speedboats, guns, looks like fun. I'm going to give it a try. We've got Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex. Now, personally, I have not played any Crash Bandicoot games outside of the PlayStation 1. And that is because Crash Bandicoot for the original PlayStation was actually the first game that I ever beat for the original PlayStation. So ever since then, I never really played Crash Bandicoot. So these newer ones, I'm going to try to give them a shot. Got this one, Crash Nitro Kart. Kind of like a Mario Kart, but with Crash Bandicoot characters. Never can go wrong with a Crash Bandicoot or with a Mario Kart type of game. Especially, they're always good multiplayer games. Right here, this is kind of a big hitter, but I'm not too familiar with it. It's iNinja by Namco. Namco is known for making really good games. And yeah, it's a little ninja game, kind of like Crash Bandicoot, but you go through your own little series of, trials and courses and stuff. I'm going to have to give this one a shot. I've seen and heard very good things about that game. Never played it personally, but, anytime you look up like hidden gems for the Xbox or, I don't know, even expensive games for the Xbox, I've seen this on the list. So let's give it a shot. Next, we've got Mortal Kombat Deception. Mortal Kombat, can't go wrong. I mean, this one in particular, I don't think I've heard necessarily great things about, but I mean, it's Mortal Kombat. You know what you're getting. It is made by Midway, not a terrible company, so it can't be too bad. Now, my favorite Mortal Kombat game for the original Xbox, which I sadly do not own anymore, is Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. Now, that game is the tits. If you don't have or have never played Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, find it or try to get it. It's expensive, but it's a good game. Call of Duty Finest Hour. Now, I believe this is one that I did play on the PS2. Kind of, those early first-person shooter games. Really good game. Never beat it. But I do remember playing it and having a lot of fun. I probably died a ton, but right here we've got SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. These Platinum Xbox games, if I remember right, I believe these ones are the ones that you can play in the Xbox 360. But it's only these Silver Platinum hit ones. The regular black label ones you cannot. These ones you can play in the Xbox 360. I do believe. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that is what you can do with these games. But this is another game. Great game, but they wound up releasing it for the PS4. I would recommend getting the PS4 version just for the better graphics. Scarface. I do remember playing this one a little bit. I bought it because it looked like Grand Theft Auto. It kind of does play like Grand Theft Auto, but you go through more of a storyline of Tony Montana. I don't remember it going by the movie. I could be wrong, but I remember doing some missions in there that had nothing to do with the movie. Still a really good game though. GTA lovers, you'll still love that game, Scarface. Mech Assault 2 Lone Wolf. These are some mech, I love mech toys. I love Gundam Wing. I love mech everything, but I've never played Mech Assault 2. I played Mech Assault 1, which I do have here. I do remember playing this game. And if I remember right, I believe this is the game that you can get that huge $300, $400 controller for. That's basically a whole console. Or I mean, it looks like a whole like driving console of a machine that you can buy just for this game. I could be wrong, but I do believe it is this game that you can get that giant controller for. Put it in the comments if I'm wrong, but I do believe this is the game. Really good game though. I mean, just basic, going around destroying shit with mechs, fighting other mechs. It's a good time. Can't go wrong. Recommend it. This one, Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. This is another really mint looking game case. Must not have been played very much. Graphics, I mean, don't look phenomenal. This is still during the blocky age. We weren't quite smoothed out in the, graphics department, but it was still really good. I mean, especially for the time. And yeah, Lord of the Rings. I mean, I have a feeling, I've never played it, but I have a feeling we know exactly what we're getting if you've seen the Fellowship of the Ring movie, And lastly, in the good games, but games I didn't absolutely love, this is a classic though. A lot of people will tell you to play this game. I didn't really enjoy it that much. I mean, maybe that's just me. But this is one of those games where when you bring up the original Xbox, everybody always brings up this game. And, it's probably just me, but you'll probably love it. Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. Always been brought up. Like I said, anytime you see like a list of games that people say you must play, for the original Xbox, this is always one of those top games. Not really for me particularly, but you might love it. So that's why I had to put it in the stack of games that I like, but don't absolutely love. Now, some of you might hate me because I have Halo 2 and Halo 1 on there. But again, I feel like some of those games that came out, for the console in particular, they just kind of get overplayed. And because of that, they kind of, it makes you want to pay attention to some of the games that you kind of wish you either could have or didn't get enough playtime with. Some of the more rarer games, I guess. Now, let's get into this stack of games right here. Of the games that I love for this console. Now, right off the bat, right on top, we've got one of these multi-demo, disc kind of games. Now, I only put this in the stack because I've never seen one of these before. This came with everything. And yeah, I've never seen one. It doesn't have very many playable demos, Time Splitters, but I have Time Splitters in this stack. And yeah, the rest are just kind of promo videos, but I don't remember seeing any of these for the original Xbox. Now, I know for the original PlayStation and the PlayStation 2, you used to see all kinds of them. But that was the first one I've ever seen for the original Xbox. Sonic Heroes. This one doesn't really need any explaining. Very nice copy. As you can see, somebody originally paid $19 for it. That's a good deal on this game. Given, the fact that we are now on our third Sonic movie, I feel like the price on this might go up. Never played Sonic Heroes. I'm gonna have to put this one in and give it a shot. But it looks like more Sonic fun. All kinds of different crazy courses. But yeah, I just love Sonic, so that's why it's in the love pile. I have a feeling I'm going to like it no matter what. Next, though, Crazy Taxi. These games I love. These games I used to play in the arcade all the time. There used to be a Crazy Taxi arcade game in my local grocery store that every time I went in there, I would have to play it before I left. And I love the little mini, like the mini games that are inside where you get little, I don't know how to explain it. Like the, what do they call it? Like the pyramid levels where they give you like different tasks for each stage that you need to pass. You got to jump over a wall and then stop your taxi in a certain area. All those little, mini things that it gives you to do. That's why I love these games. I feel like I have more fun doing those challenges than playing the actual game. But next we have Marvel vs. Capcom. Again, don't really need any explanation. As you see, it was expensive used. And, I mean, it's Marvel vs. Capcom. That's why. I mean, look at So this does nothing for, what you actually get as far as like character roster, but you got Gambit, Colossus, or not Colossus, Juggernaut, Spider-Man, Venom, Hulk. You got endless characters in here. Wolverine, I mean, you name it. It's a good time. It's an awesome game, awesome fighter game for the console. If you've never played it or don't own it, get it if you can. I don't know if it's still, that price. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less now. Celebrity Deathmatch. Now, for all of you out there around my age, you remember watching Celebrity Deathmatch on MTV, and you know exactly what this is. But for those of you who are not as old as I am or do not know what this was a claymation wrestling show where they would battle celebrities against each other in claymation, where they made things super outrageous, super gory, super funny, and it was awesome. But this game gave you a chance to play some of those celebrities for yourself and make your own matchups, because they would always try to put people together who were, had either celebrity feuds going on at the time or, like, what are some, I can't even remember any of the matches in particular, but yeah, it was just wild, crazy, good time. But if you're a fan of wrestling games and you want to wrestle some celebrities in claymation and cause havoc and see some blood and do crazy shit like blow people up, that's a good time. That's a good one. I just love it because of, the fact that I remember that show. And the fact that they have a game, it's insane. And I think this is the only console that they had a game for it. Next, we have Tony Hawk Underground. This is one of my favorite Tony Hawk games ever. So that's why this is in the collection. Awesome soundtrack. Most of you know Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, so you probably know exactly why this is in that pile. And as you see, it's one of the platinum hits. So if I am correct, you can also play this on the Xbox 360. And it's a very mint game. As you can see by the reflection of the light, no blemishes on the cover. It's complete in box. Very nice copy. SSX Tricky. If you've never played this game and you like snowboarding, this is the only game you need to play. I put this right up there with like Skate 3, but this is like for, Skate 3 level, back when Xbox and PS2 were ruling the world. Snowboarding, you could do uber tricks. If you've never played this game, please do yourself the favor and play it at least once and get used to the first course. Because if you get used to that first course with any of these characters, you will know exactly why there's no other snowboarding game out there that will ever beat SSX Tricky. The only other one that comes close is SSX Tricky 3. But other than that, best snowboarding game ever. Serious Sam. This one you do not see a lot. This one is a good one to play multiplayer with a friend. You go around and, you can just, hunt for each other, kill each other. Really good graphics, really cool looking characters, really cool level design. It's just a lot of fun. This one is a good multiplayer game if you just want to hunt each other down, and you don't want to play Halo or, something like super serious. Even though it's called Serious Sam, it's a little escape from the super realistic games if you just want to have some good old fun and, not take things too serious. Black. Now, this is a game I don't really remember too much about, but I know it was a really good game, and I always hear really good things about this game. So, we got it in the pickups. It's going in the love pile. I'm going to play through it again because I do remember liking it. I just don't really remember it at the moment. But Black, it's always one of those games again. When you mention the original Xbox, it's one of those games everybody says you have to play. They do have it on the PlayStation 2 as well. Oh, this game. As you see, another expensive used game. The Kids Next Door. I used to watch this cartoon. I remember this. I can't remember very much of the game, but I know I loved the cartoon. And this is one of those games that's kind of known for being super expensive. And yeah, I'm going to have to play through it. Cartoon Network. Oh, look at that. EB Games. So it's a little older. I mean, it's not as old as Funko Land, but EB Games is up there. But yeah, Kids Next Door. I'm going to have to check to see like what this game goes for. Because I remember at one point seeing that it was well over $100 to buy this game. We have to check that out. But I'm sure it's a great game because I also love this game. And it's also a Cartoon Network game. As we see, it's also from EB Games. It's the same sticker, it looks like. Wonder if they were bought at the same time. The used price looks like it was $29.99. Ed, Edd, and Eddy. Loved this cartoon growing up. This game right here is a lot of fun. Especially, I mean, if you like the cartoon, you are going to fall in love with this game. It's a very good game. Not really a whole lot to say more than that, but if you like Ed, Edd, and Eddy, this is a game you are going to want to play. I don't think there is any other Ed, Edd, and Eddy games. This might be the only one. I mean, let me know if I'm wrong, but classic. This is a must-have for any Ed, Edd, and Eddy fan. It's a really good game, really fun. It's not, you don't run into too many things that are like super annoying or anything like that, little quirks. It's a really good, fun playthrough. Fusion Frenzy, the ultimate multiplayer game for the Xbox console. This is kind of like your American Gladiators meets Mario Party. Tons of little mini games, super fun to play with a group of people. It's a must-have, especially if you play a lot with other people. And it's one of those games that it's not super expensive. You can get your hands on it for fairly cheap, but it is one of those games that people keep an eye out for, and they generally will buy if they see it. So if you see a copy and you can get your hands on one, I recommend buying it. You can't go wrong. Not many of those Mario Party kind of games for the original Xbox, but that one there is a good one. Here we go with something you guys might be more familiar with. Do you guys know Rockstar Games? Well, this was their first, what I deem as their first Grand Theft Auto, before Grand Theft Auto. Now, I know there was Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2, but let's face it, those ones suck. This, though, as you can see, very GTA-like. It starts you off in a mall. You just cause havoc, and the cops come after you, and you just try to survive, and while trying to collect as much as you can, everything's in money amount. So you're trying to collect as much money as you can with stolen products and all that shit. It's crazy. It's a lot of fun. I've not played this in a long time, but seeing as you can eventually make it outside of the mall, I'm going to have to try this game again because I only ever remember being stuck inside of a mall trying to stay alive. But it was a lot of fun. Rockstar Games. Definitely the first steps in the door of creating GTA the way we know GTA today. Time Splitters. An all-time classic for this console. It's just one of those on the list. You bring up original Xbox, or even PS2. They have this game for PS2 as well. This is one of those games, one of those multiplayer games that you're going to want to sit down and play with a friend. Another one of those just hunt around for each other. You got portals. It's just crazy. It's just one of those kind of, realistic but silly at the same time. Hunt each other. It's a good time. Get some drinks in you. Smoke a little something. I'm telling you. Just pop in some Time Splitters. You will have a good time. That definitely goes in my love pile. Sega GT 2000. The only reason I have this is, of course, most of you must know, it's also got Jet Set Radio. This is one of that game, the Mark Echo Graffiti game. What was that called? Getting Up. This is a Sega one. But this, I feel like, is a much better game. Faster pace. Similar in a way to SSX Tricky, that snowboarding game. But for rollerbladers and graffiti, this is the game if those things interest you. It's a really fun game. This is one of the first games that I ever played on the Sega Dreamcast. Really good game, still holds up. I recommend getting it. Sega GT 2002, I don't know if I've ever even played, but because they combined it, both games in the same pack, you kind of get, you wind up with this game anyways. But honestly, I don't even remember if that's a good car game. Let me know in the comments if it is. But this is the game that you want to buy this for. Most, 9 times out of 10, that's why you're buying it, is for that game right there. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Now, the only reason I put this in the love pile is because it is a really good game, and this is one of those that are starting to find it's one of those games that's finding its way into the hidden gem pile. Now, when you start looking at hidden gems for the Xbox, they bring up this game quite a bit. It is a lot of fun, but if you are not familiar with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you're probably not going to dig it very much. But it's a decent game. It's a pretty easy playthrough. There's not too many parts to get hung up on. It's, fairly simple, and yeah, I mean, there's really no reason to hate it. It's a good time. So I played it when I seen it on a Hidden Gems video. I think I got this online for like $15 originally, but then, I got it again in this pickups. So, hey, it's a good game. It's definitely one of those that I'm going to hang on to because it is gaining popularity. So we've got to hang on to those kind of games. Underground 2, Need for Speed. This game right here. Oh boy, do I remember when this game came out. Me and my buddy played this game when it first came out, and we stayed up all night long just to beat this game because we were hooked. If you like Fast and the Furious, the way Fast and the Furious used to be, back when it was about tuner cars and putting on body kits and spoilers, and back when the craze first hit, where people started to modify their cars. Yeah, that's what this whole game is about. But for when it comes to Need for Speed, I feel like this kind of is the best one. If you have not played it, I highly recommend playing this game. It is fun all the way through. I promise you. You will not be disappointed with this game. Need for Speed Underground 2. That one right there will always be in my original Xbox game collection. I'm telling you, it's worth buying. I don't know what it goes for today, but it deserves to be more expensive, I tell you. Awesome soundtrack. The things you can do to your cars in that game, it's amazing. Brute Force. This is another one of those crazy hunt each other down and gun down kind of games. I believe it's multiplayer and story mode, if I remember right. I could be wrong, but I just remember it being one of those wacky games like that, It's a good time though. And this is another one of those games that's kind of one of those hidden gems, and it's getting more expensive the more time goes. So if you see it, pick it up, play it. You'll see why people love it so much. Fight Club. I only have this one in my love collection because it's Fight Club. And the way the fighting style is in here, it was kind of before Mortal Kombat. As you can see, the skeleton through the body. I think this game did that before Mortal Kombat did. I could be wrong on that, but this is the first time I remember seeing that kind of, physics in the game. It's a decent fighter. I mean, it's not great, but it's Fight Club. And, first rule about Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. So we're just going to put that in the stack and shut up on that. Next, we have Spawn Armageddon, and that is simply because I absolutely love Spawn. One of my favorite comic book characters ever. Todd McFarlane is a freaking genius. Just a badass character. I can't wait to see this new movie that's supposed to be coming out, if we ever get it. Talks that Jamie Foxx might be still playing Al Simmons, which is who Spawn is before he dies and, becomes Spawn. Spoiler alerts if you don't know. But yeah, very good game. Wish the case was in better condition, without all these stickers. But sometimes it's okay to see, the age of these games and what these games have been through. Kind of a little show of the times, Every game has their story. But Spawn, I mean, if you know, you know. I don't think there's very much I can tell you about the game other than if you know Spawn, you can kind of, imagine what you'd go through in a Spawn game. I just love. And right here, now originally I had this for the PlayStation 2. This is The Suffering. This is a really cool game. Now you play as a prisoner, and the prison winds up getting a blackout and things go into chaos, and it's all because of some paranormal forces that take over, and you wind up seeing these creatures all over the prison that embody the different forms of like execution methods. Each character is based on a different execution method, and it's kind of like Resident Evil in that sense. It's really fun. It's crazy, it's dark, it's creepy, it's really cool. But this game, I remember playing through, it took me 2 days, but this was one of those games that I sat down and actually played it all the way through because I thought it was that cool, and it was pretty enjoyable. And I just love creepy stuff like that. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Resident Evil, but this Suffering game was a really good game to just sit through. The creep factor was there, the graphics were decent, the sound effects, I remember being wild. Really good game though. I recommend playing through it if you have not and you're kind of into those creepy games. It's one of those, you know? Like, that is one that you're going to want to have in your stack of games. But that is everything from the pickups that, I made today. Hope you guys enjoyed. I want you guys to let me know, what are some of your favorite games for this console? I know for some of us, this could have either been your very first console you ever bought. I mean, some of the very first games you ever played might have been on this console. I don't know how old you are, but, what are some of your favorite games? Let me know. And until the next one, you guys, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification because I'm going to be keeping the videos coming. And, yeah, until the next one. Later.